All right, everyone. So the Toy Story 5 trailer has been out for almost a week now, so we can finally discuss the trailer. So before we get into the breakdown, I guess, what are your initial thoughts? What's your initial reaction to the trailer when you watched it?
My initial thoughts, I loved it. It was fun. It was action packed. That's what I wanted from it. Um, Gave away a bit too much, but we'll get into that. But overall, it hit everything that I wanted for a movie, and I was just excited for it.
Oh yeah, I think upon watching the trailer, it's like the most optimistic I felt for the movie. Which is
Yeah.
good. That's what you want. I think from the moment Woody and Buzz reunited from the end of the trailer, I had actual tears in my eyes because I was just so happy about it. But I guess we can go chronologically from the trailer. Of course, the first thing we see is the lily pad and Jesse, them kind of having this dilemma over Bonnie not having friends and Jesse wanting her to be more social, and they all kind of feel the lily pad is impeding or encroaching on her development. So, what do you think of the focus being on Jesse and the technology?
It was the right move to make, especially putting Jesse as the main character and having technology at this point in the story. Brilliant. Because
Yeah,
people keep saying they would want it for Toy Story 4, but
right.
looking back now, it would not work. This was the right moment to do technology as the villain.
Yeah, it's funny too because I think this is the first time in a Toy Story movie where people or fans or just the general public have suggested an idea of, oh, there should be a Toy Story movie about this or that, and they actually did it.
Yeah, that is true.
I think it's also definitely an adjustment to have Jesse as the main character, but it does make complete sense because, Toy Story 1 through 4, it is telling this linear, complete story about Woody, and he's trying to figure out what his place is and how he gets over this fear of abandonment and how he moves on from Andy growing up and finds his own purpose. So I do think it is the right call to have Jessie be the main character because when Woody gave her that badge, it is sort of a passing of the torch moment. And when he did that, I didn't even think of it as, oh, now Jessie is the main character. But now looking back, that does make complete sense, I think.
Yeah, this trailer made me like Toy Story 4 a whole lot more. Toy Story 4 feels um a lot more necessary, probably is the word I'm looking for.
Right.
But it's important for this movie
Mhm.
because Toy Story 4 it scatters like all the characters like it's unpredictable now. If Woody was still with the gang, how predictable would that be for a Toy Story 5?
Right. There wouldn't be that same sense of urgency. There wouldn't be I think it would also I think Toy Story 4 serves as sort of a transitional period because
Yeah.
we get we kind of get introduced to the concept of toys finding their own purpose or like having a different kind of purpose. And when you do that, you kind of give everything a grander sense of weight because it's like, oh, well, they can make their own decisions. And also now they're kind of out of the loop. Like they're not together as they were before. They kind of have to figure things out all over again because the group's a little fragmented.
Yeah, I think when you have a movie series that goes on for this long, you're gonna need a transitional movie. So I think
Yeah.
moving forward, I think every movie's gonna have that with the longevity. You're gonna need a transitional movie.
Right, exactly. And how do you feel about the commentary of the technology and the way they're integrating that with the lily pad and I guess just the commentary on how kids look at screens instead of playing with toys and we even see things like how the lily pad says she's always listening, stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's so relevant for today. It's so relevant. Um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where they go with it because obviously when she got the lily pad, she was memorized with it. She's there lying on the floor, wasn't taking her eyes off it. Even her dad was telling her.
Right. Yeah, I think it's interesting too because clearly there is going to be criticism about technology and about screens, but at the same time, I assume they don't want to completely condemn it with how, of course, Disney, Pixar, they have all these products that are reliant on technology. So I do feel like they're gonna try to toe the line, and it'll be sort of like technology has its place, but don't overuse it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think another thing, I think so this is made by Pixar animators. So I think there's kind of like a relatability there because they've
Yeah.
got AI, like AIs coming in now and that could take their jobs.
Hmm.
So Lilypad's basically taking Jesse's job and the rest of the gang's job.
Yeah, I think in that sense, what you said about this plot being right for five instead of four, it's incredibly pertinent to today because of AI and because of pe people do feel like they're being replaced now by technology. That
Yep,
is,
is everyone, we're all feeling it.
and I think that probably will get more people excited for the movie because Toy Story 4, it's a very divisive movie, obviously, and I think you need something like that to get people more excited about like that relatable quality.
Yeah, definitely.
And moving away from Jesse and the technology, I think one of the first things I found really fascinating about this trailer is it appears that Woody has actually been talking to the toys the whole time.
Yeah, the walkie-talkies, that was a surprise.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of assumed they've had zero contact at all. This would be the first time they've ever talked at any length. I mean, it does appear they'll meet in person for the first time since four, but I have a lot of questions about that. Like, how did they get that in place? Because at the end of four, we don't see any hints that there's going to be any contact. So I really am wondering how that is going to shape.
Yeah, so it's funny when I think a couple of months ago it was Pete Docter, he said Jesse's gonna call Woody for help.
Hmm.
I can't believe it's like she was literally calling him
Yeah.
for help for a walkie-talkie. So my theory on that is I think at the end of four you see Bo Peep, Woody, they all take their skunk car.
Oh, okay.
So I think they've been driving that around and then they just dropped it off one day and then went back to,
That would make sense. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that would make sense. And I think we may have talked about this, but the ending of four, I think it's a great ending. It does have it ties up the themes of the series for Woody's story. But what's interesting about it is the goodbye scene. If you take that as the last time Woody ever sees the toys at all, it's extremely underwhelming.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's just so quick and
yeah, he doesn't even really say anything to them except he says like one thing to Forky of all people, and that's about it.
yeah.
So honestly, I do think it is better to have that scene be like it's still emotional in the sense of, oh, he's not going to be regularly with them, but I do think it works better like that than, oh, this is the last time they're ever going to see each other, because you don't really, I mean, of course they don't really give any reason to think they'll see each other again technically, but I guess just the vibe, the emotion of it, it does not at all feel like this is the last time they're gonna see each other. This is their final goodbye. Like if you compare it to Andy's goodbye, it's totally different.
Yeah. That's a final goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. So, how do you feel about the scene where Woody actually returns to Bonnie's room and we see everyone's reaction? We get the poncho, the bald spot, Buzz seeing all
Yeah.
that.
Wow, that bold spot, that went viral, man. That went
Yeah.
so viral.
It's so
That was
that's the number one thing people are talking about with this movie.
Yep, that's the number one thing. That's all I see about people talking about the movie is the bold spot. I can't believe it. We get a
It's
Toy Story 5 trailer and the bold spot is the main thing everyone's talking about.
it's done wonders for the movie. People like I'm seeing accounts that have nothing to do with Toy Story or animation or movies in general, and they're like, "Wow, Woody has a bald spot in this movie."
Yeah. But I do like the new look with the poncho. That was a nice touch.
I gotta say I love the poncho. It's funny because messing with these classic designs, usually it ends up being worse, but I actually think that is a really good addition. I think I actually. I wouldn't say I prefer him with it, but I think it's just as good as his original design, basically. I think it looks great.
Yeah, I think it serves its purpose for him being out in on the road, being out in the world, and he's kind of like got this a bit of a rugged look, laid back look.
Yeah. I think it works too because without his pull string and his badge, I think he'd maybe look a bit naked without it.
He does, yeah. When you see him like without the poncho one, and you see like the stitch, he does look a bit naked.
Yeah. And I'm curious, do you think they're going to fix his bald spot, or do you think it'll stay like that for now?
I think depending on how the movie ends, I think the other toys may fix it for him.
'Cause-
Maybe.
Yeah, because I've been wondering, I'm like, are they gonna make a Woody toy with a bald spot now?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's very interesting. I think maybe because of how viral it is, maybe they go back and change and make sure he keeps the bald spot. Maybe.
It's hard to say, I guess. It's funny because some changes stick and some don't. I mean, like in Toy Story 2, when his arm comes off, obviously that's not going to stick. But then things like his pull string and his badge, that's going to stick. I think it largely depends on how important it is to the story. But the bald spot is very viral, so that in itself might make them keep it.
I think it might be just part of his character now. That's what I think.
I was actually thinking about it, and I was like, well, people who experience hair loss and love Toy Story, that's kind of it's a nice representation for this.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think people are like, I think because it went viral, I think people find it really relatable
Yeah.
that Woody of all characters has got a bald spot.
Yeah, I remember Tim Allen had mentioned it in an interview, and I was like, "What? What
Yeah,
does he mean by that?" And then, oh, it's literally just a bald spot.
yeah, it's just literally a bald spot.
And you know what I find interesting? The way Woody comes in when he plops down on the ground, the shot of the toys looking up at him, it kind of mirrors the shot of Woody looking up at Buzz in the first movie on the bed.
Oh yeah,
And then we see Woody and Buzz reunite, kind of paralleling the way they met in the first movie. I find there's a lot of parallels to the first movie. Even Jesse confronting the lily pad on the bed is reminiscent
yeah,
of
I thought that.
Eve
Yeah,
on the bed. So it almost kind of seems like it's like a full circle thing, and I wonder if that'll play into it more.
yeah. She was very when Jessie actually talks to Lilypad, she was very hostile. I noticed
Right. Yeah.
that's kind of like their first meeting, but Jessie was more hostile during that situation.
Yeah.
She
Even
was like,
more.
"Listen, device, just
Yeah.
call it device."
She's almost more hostile. If you compare Woody on the bed to Jesse on the bed, Woody is kind of nice at first, and then he only kind of gets more aggressive when he's being threatened. But Jesse's kind of more taking it head on immediately.
Yeah, very bold.
Absolutely. And going through the trailer, we see, of course, we see Woody and Buzz tackling the lily pad, and people are speculating what are they trying to stop her from doing, and people have. I know there's been a huge theory about she's going to record them moving or something. What do you make of that?
So yeah, I originally thought that theory. Seeing the trailer, I don't think that no more.
Hmm.
Um, I think Lilypad's goal is to isolate Bonnie from the toys.
Right. Yeah.
But what's weird, I think um something definitely happens in their house
Hmm.
because near the end of the trailer, you actually see the toys in the garage instead of the bedroom.
Yeah, what's interesting is that this trailer, a lot of it takes place in Bonnie's room, and I kind of think that's another way it'll mirror the first movie, where a good chunk of it at the beginning takes place in the kid's house.
Yeah.
So I do find that interesting. What's interesting about this trailer, it does show a lot, but there are a few pieces where I'm like, I'm not sure how that's going to lead into that or how that's going to tie into this.
Yeah, there's these little key scenes that 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 I think they were put in there to like fool the audience, and there is a couple of them.
I think when they say we're gonna need backup and they show the different Buzz Lightyears, it seems like from what we've heard, they'll be villains first, then help them. But the trailer kind of makes it seem like they're heroes to them from the beginning.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah, I know people have theorized that maybe Lily Pad is going to recruit them somehow to help her, and then maybe they'll switch sides or something.
Possibly.
Something I also find interesting is I don't know if you've read. people have gone into the descriptions of the trailer. They've been theorizing about this character, this new kid named Blaze that Jesse goes to.
Yeah, so I've only found out about that about I think I found out about it was either yesterday or today. I found out about this Blaze character.
Yeah, it's very interesting because it seems like one of the main set pieces is this farm, this house, because they describe Blaze as this animal-loving kid who is independent. Um, and Jesse, we have that one clip separate from the trailer they put out where Jesse's on a horse, and
That's yeah, yeah,
it sort of seems like the plot's going to be similar, almost like a Toy Story 2 thing where Jessie gets stuck somewhere. She ends up thinking it's better, but then she realizes she has to go back to her kid. I'm kind of thinking that's how it's going to play out.
yeah. I do like that because that means we're gonna have a movie where Woody and Buzz are together for like most of the
Yeah.
movie.
Woody and Buzz's relationship is something I'm very that I think that's my favorite thing to speculate about this movie because that's one thing I really want to talk about is their fighting, their beef. Like because of course in 2 and 3 they have little spats, but it's kind of like one-sided and it's always like over something like ideologically driven that's important or existential to them. But here we see them having like it's more like the first movie with them having like a more petty spat. So
Yeah,
I'm really wondering what's causing it. My guess is what they're going for is that since Woody's a lost toy now and he's been away for a while, they're like not gonna know how to agree on certain things, and there's gonna be
yeah,
things they have to adapt to.
yeah. My theory on that, I think Woody's gonna say something to Buzz about like his leadership skills, and I
Hmm.
think Buzz is gonna take that the wrong way, and then that's where they're gonna clash throughout the movie, and
I
that's when the other Buzz Lightyears come into it, and Buzz becomes the leader of them, and then proves to Woody that he's like a leader.
Yeah, that would be perfect to tie it in with the different Buzz Lightyears. I think it's interesting too. I'm wondering, are they going to make? I almost wonder if what they're going for is Woody like almost pretentious about the fact he's a lost toy and thinks he's like better. Which I don't want it to go that way because I don't want it to seem like being a lost toy like he decides to be at the end of the movie was a bad decision. But I wonder if it's going to be more like that or if it's more just like a series of misunderstandings because they're different now and they lead different lives.
Yeah, I think it may be like a series of just like misunderstandings, and it keeps getting worse for like both of them.
Yeah, because the way they're fighting on the car, which is one of my favorite shots of the trailer, them running towards the car and fighting, because it's so much like the first movie. It's going to be very interesting because we haven't seen them like be petty with each other or like insult each other like the first movie.
Yeah,
Anytime like in 2 and 3 they kind of fight a little bit, but it's more just like, oh, it's for your well-being or I'm trying to like help you out. And this is more like, oh, they're making comments like Buzz talking about his poncho.
yeah.
I find that I wonder if it's gonna show like any kind of resentment or anger from Buzz about the fact Woody's gone or that he's different now.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to play into it. Just by the way he said that line.
Yeah, that is one of when this movie got announced, that was one of the first kind of theories or ideas I wanted to see Woody and Buzz fight and to see them have to deal with them being different now.
Yeah, I think there should be conflict between them.
Because like you said, we haven't got to see them on the whole adventure since the first movie. So that's yet another way we're kind of coming full circle. Because it's funny, their relationship in that movie is so integral. It's one of the most famous buddy movies ever made, and yet we never see them together through most of the movie and all the sequels.
Yeah, they're always apart. Always apart.
Yeah, it's ironic too. Like everyone was decrying the end of 4 because Woody's leaving Buzz, but it's funny because he did that. Now we get a movie where he's actually with him for what we can see for most of the movie.
Yeah.
I think another shot I find interesting that gives away a lot. Woody, Buzz, Jesse, and looks like all the other Buzz Army guys are facing Lily Pad, and they all look very happy. and it kind of gives
Yeah,
away
the
like, oh,
thumbnail for the trailer, the
yeah,
thumbnail.
it's like I guess they don't realize people think about this stuff, but it basically tells us they are going to come to an agreement and they're all going to be friends by the end of the movie.
Yeah,
I I've seen people theorize that, oh, Jesse's gonna stay with this Blaze kid, but I think it'll be more like what we said before, and I think Bonnie will somehow be creative with her lily pad, but with the toys. I saw someone theorize like maybe she'll make movies with the lily pad, like film with the lily pad, but play with the toys to make the movies or something like that. I think it'll be
yeah.
some kind of middle ground like that.
Because you see how the trailer starts with the wedding,
Right, yes, yeah.
and it goes into that the animation like the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
um, they did the Spider-Man animation. So I think maybe we see it from her point of view with that animation, but by the end of the movie, she's using Lilypad to make that animation with her toys.
Right, yeah, yeah, that would be
So
perfect
it kind
because
of bookends the movie.
it shows Bonnie has her imagination, and then by the end of the movie, technology, she harnesses it in the correct way, and now she can make her imagination more tangible and like something she can actually see for herself and that others can see.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too because this Blaze character, her house, um, because that was the leak about Jesse's gonna go back to Emily's house.
Yeah, the leak.
But I wonder about that because instead we're seeing her at Blaze's house and it's very similar to Emily's. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of connection there or if the leaks have some sort of
Great
misunderstanding.
great grandma.
Yeah, it's like is it a relative or were the leaks were the leaks more about Blaze reminds her of Emily or is there a literal connection, I wonder.
Um, I think there's, I think just how it's been set up. Yeah, I think there will be a connection with them.
Yeah, I don't know because people are saying, "Oh, Jesse's gonna go back to Emily's," but I almost wonder, like, how would she even do that? Where would she go to find Emily's house? And if the dilemma is she's going to Blaze's house, I don't know how they would really get from, okay, she's at Blaze's house and she's at Emily's house. Unless they're related, I don't see them doing both.
Yeah, I think there must be some kind of relation there.
Yeah, I think that if Emily plays into it like the leaks say, I think that would be the most likely outcome. I would think. And
I
also, oh, go ahead.
so I do so there is a part in the trailer. I don't know if you noticed, but Jessie was actually kind of damaged.
Oh, I know people have talked about like her hair and her hat's missing.
Yeah, her hat was missing, her hair was snipped. She's got a new bubble thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. What do you think of that?
Um, so I have two theories. Either another kid's done a makeover,
Hmm.
or she's been attacked by some kind of animal because they are on a farm.
Oh, right.
So my theory is that she gets repaired by some kind of old woman, and
Mm.
then like Jesse maybe leaves the hat with that old woman.
I could see that. Yeah.
The old woman being like an elderly Emily or something.
Oh, right. Yeah, I do really wonder if we're actually going to see Emily herself. There's all this talk about the flashbacks in her house, but I wonder if we're actually going to see her.
I at this moment I do think we will.
I would be so fascinated to see how Jesse would react to reuniting with Emily, because that would be very emotional for her, even more so than like if Woody saw Andy, because Woody, he got closure with Andy, and it wasn't
Yeah.
the same style of abandonment where he was in a box and all these years have gone by. That would be very interesting to watch, I think. And I think that would be like the big, if they're gonna have a big, oh, this is the part where you cry moment, it would be that.
Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah, because it does feel like with every one that they're like, oh, we gotta have to find a part where they cry. It's part of Toy Story. So I do
That
think
yeah,
that's
that
the
would
most
be it.
likely. I almost wonder too if there's going to be a part where because we see Potato Head and Rex all the toys in a box, and Jesse somehow ends up with Blaze. Almost wonder if Bonnie gives the toys away, but then regrets it and wants them back, and if like Lily Pad shows them or something. Because I am wondering why they're all in that box and how Jesse gets to Blaze's house to begin with.
Yeah, so they're all in the box and they're in the garage.
Right.
That may be just a way of erase like taking them out the movie.
Yeah, I think they wanna have their focus on the main trio and have the others kind of like in one they're at Andy's house while Woody and Buzz are at Sid's, and of course in four they're in the RV.
Yeah, it's just odd, but why are they in the garage? That's the main thing. Why the garage?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what makes me feel like Bonnie maybe at one point wants to give them away, or I don't know if a lily pad somehow like tricks, like messes with things somehow, and that's how Jesse winds up going with Blaze. Because it seems like that's what Woody and Buzz are doing. They're gonna go try to rescue her from this Blaze kid's house or farm.
Yeah, yeah.
And oh, go ahead.
So I think a theory that I have why they're in the garage, I think there's a character missing that we haven't seen who's from Bonnie's room.
Hmm.
A character we've never seen before.
Do you think there's gonna be a new character?
Yep, in Bonnie's room.
Oh.
Because in the original teaser, there
Hmm.
was something there in the background.
Oh, interesting.
She has a new pet. Well, she has a pet
Oh,
now,
right. Yeah. Okay.
but we don't know what it is.
That is interesting. I forgot about that because people were speculating about that being in the teaser. You see in the back, the I can't remember what name it is that's spelled out, but yeah, I forgot about her having a pet. That
Might
is
have been
interesting.
Sammy. Sammy, maybe.
Yeah, I think that is it. Yeah, maybe it's something to do with that. I didn't think about that.
So maybe this animal gets loose and like destroys the bedroom,
Oh
or
yeah, right.
depending what it is. Maybe it's an iguana or something.
Yeah, it would kind of remind me of a Toy Story of Terror when I can't remember what animal it is, but the one that's like kidnapping them and putting them in the
Oh
behind.
yeah, that lizard.
Right, yeah, the lizard. Yeah, it could be something like that. I could see that. And also, we're talking about the Blaze thing. We see this scene where Woody's being dangled and the Buzz army is behind them. I don't know if
Yeah,
they're helping him or trying to hurt him or whatever it is. We see Woody's hat is at the bottom, so I don't know if he's like trying to get his hat back or something. I know people have also speculated. You don't see his belt or his holster in that
yeah.
scene.
His belt and his holster's gone. I don't know if that's an error or that's weird.
Yeah, because I wouldn't think his belt or his holster would be removable.
Yeah, and there's no reason for him to really take it off.
Yeah, and we do see him have the belt and the holster when they're looking at the lily pad, which I assume is after that.
Yeah,
And when that one scene with Jessie riding on Bullseye with all the other toys behind her, it's hard to tell, but you do see Woody in the back, and it looks like it's very pixelated and hard to see, but it looks like his holster's there. So I do wonder about that.
right. Yeah.
And that scene in general too, I'm curious about like what is I guess it's Jesse leaving Blaze's house and going back to Bonnie's.
The horse riding scene.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, there's. I'm confused about where all these horses coming from. These horses and these ponies.
Ye- It seems like because that one description says Blaze is an animal lover, so I guess she just has like a collection of horse toys or something like that.
All right.
But it's interesting too if they're coming from Blaze's house. I don't know. It's very interesting. Like, are they gonna stay with Bonnie or go back to this Blaze character? It's very interesting to think about because I don't know if like Blaze's house and her farm is going to be seen as like this dangerous area or not. It could be almost away because there seems to be no technology there. Maybe Jesse's like, oh, I love this because there's no technology and it's just animals and we're on a farm. And maybe it could be a way to be like, oh, well, maybe too much technology is bad, but also too little of it is bad in its own way.
Yeah, that would be a good way of playing it.
Yeah, I think it would be good too to have that contrast, to not have it be overly, I guess, demonizing one way or the other.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious too. We see the different Buzz toys there. They seem to be making something, or they seem to come on some kind of campground. I guess that's from where they escaped that island that they get stranded on.
Yeah, they're very resourceful and somehow they're waterproof.
Oh yeah.
They're high-tech Buzz Lightyears, but somehow they're extremely waterproof.
Yeah, it's interesting because at first it kind of seemed like maybe they were tying into the technology theme, but now I'm not sure exactly how they're going to tie in. We haven't seen a lot of them, so I do feel like there's probably more to see, especially in terms of like action set pieces and stuff like that with them.
Yeah, I think they're um they're gonna be that background storyline that just happens to integrate with the main.
I feel like it might be like Zurg in Toy Story 2
Yeah, it's like that, yeah.
because they have to put delusional Buzz Lightyear in every movie to some capacity, I guess.
Yeah, they have that's what they do. They want to keep Buzz funny. Buzz has to be funny in every movie they do.
Right. Either if they don't find a way for it, like they didn't in 4, they couldn't. I guess they couldn't think of a way to do it, so they're like, well, let's just make him stupid.
Yeah, they just dumbed him down.
I do think people will be more happy with the buzz, and I think Toy Story fans that didn't like 4 as much will probably like this one more, at least in terms of they're gonna see the characters they like, and Buzz is gonna have more to do, Jesse's gonna have more to do. I do think people will like that aspect more.
Yeah, it's gonna be more balanced than four. A lot more balanced.
I think even though Jessie is the main protagonist, I don't think she'll be quite as I don't think it'll be quite as obvious as Woody being the main protagonist of the other movies because I think they probably are a little bit wary of okay, well, Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, those are the big names and we got to make sure they have enough to do.
Yeah, I think we're still gonna see things how like through Woody's eyes, but the movie is just a Jesse movie.
Yeah, and I am curious to see like how the general public winds up feeling about the fact it's a Jesse centric movie.
Yeah, but it makes sense for the story. If this was just another like Woody's point of view, it something would be a little bit off.
Yeah, I think because Woody's arc in 4 does feel like so resolved. It does make sense. It makes sense to give him because I think we'll have a little bit of an arc with Buzz and f figuring out their friendship going forward, but it won't be the main crux of the movie because his main problem in every movie is like a different step of oh, I'm stressed about my kid or my place with my kid. And now that he's solved that, I think he'll have a bit of an arc, but it'll be more of a secondary arc.
Yeah, I think yeah, even if like if it's not second, I don't think he's gonna have much of an arc. I think he's just gonna be like the mentor,
Yeah, I don't
like
think.
the wise mentor.
Yeah, I think it'll be very subtle. I think because his arc, I think, will almost be sort of just like co-joined with Buzz. Like they're both like just figuring out their friendship, and by the end of it, they kind of figure it out more, rather than Woody goes through like some sort of huge change, like learns a huge lesson.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be a change. So you won't see Woody like changing his like having a different point of view at the end of each movie. He's just gonna be Woody.
Right, because I guess he is complete in that sense by now. So it makes sense. Anything he learns, I think, will be very subtle. Same with Buzz, I think he'll have more of an arc than he's had in a while, but I think it'll still be more subtle. I guess it'll be more like you said, it'll probably be about him being more confident in his role as a leader.
Yeah, I think his arc might be a bit Toy Story 4-ish, but not to that level.
Yeah, I think if Buzz has like dumb moments, it'll be a lot more subtle like it was before.
Yeah, it won't be to that level.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll ever like try to explain why he was that way in four. I feel like they'll probably just ignore it and not explain it.
Yeah, I don't think they will. Like, if they ever did, they should just go with the theory that in Toy Story 3, a TV dropped on him.
Yeah, yeah, he
Use
was
that.
still recovering from that and being
Yeah,
Spanish.
still recover that from brain damage.
Yeah, maybe that could tie into it. Buzz is like, oh well, I've been kind of out of it, and now I got to prove myself.
Yeah.
So, are there any surprises you think what major surprises that you think will happen in the movie? Because there has been a leak, sort of, and I guess I'll preface by saying potential spoilers, even though I don't think it is a spoiler, probably anyway. But so there was this merch leak, and it was I can't remember where it was, but it's Lotso, and it has the Toy Story 5 logo. And people are wondering, oh, does that mean Lotso's in the movie? I feel like it's maybe just because Lotso's a popular character and they want to put him on the merch, but I don't know. What do you think of that?
I'm gonna say it right now. I think 100% he will not be in this movie.
Yeah, I don't, I can't think of any way he would come. I don't think he even knows the toys are alive because he assumes he killed them basically in three.
Yeah, he assumed that he killed them. There's a chance that he's not alive no more because of
Yeah,
his ending.
yeah,
Um, yeah, the merchandise, it was just strictly because in other countries, lots of bear sells.
yeah,
And like, I think in other countries, he's portrayed as, I don't know, he's not portrayed, but there's a misunderstanding that he's a friendly bear
yeah.
for some reason, and he sells a lot.
They just see a cute bear and they're like, yeah, he seems cool.
Yeah, and I think when they see the bear, they must think Winnie the Pooh, but pink.
Yeah, and it's funny too because I don't know exactly what it was, but I saw some sort of leak that claimed Stinky Pete would be in the movie somehow, but I think they meant flashbacks because I think that there are rumors we're going to see Jesse's past in a flashback somehow.
Yeah, that's more plausible if we see Stinky Pete in a flashback.
Yeah, I know people want to see characters return. I think outside of Bo Peep, you can't really get away with that too many times because it's just what are the odds?
Yeah, it doesn't work for Toy Story. We got RC in a flashback in Toy Story 4, and then we had the whole story around Bo Peep returning. But the way Toy Story is set up, it doesn't it's not one of those movies where people return.
I think the last thing I said, the I think it makes more sense when the antagonists or when the protagonists return over the antagonists because in things like Toy Story 4, when Woody he meets back with Bo, it makes sense he would intentionally seek her out because she's a more important figure in his life. But with someone like RC, it's like, what are the odds they would find him? And then you go to the villains, it becomes kind of corny to imagine, like Stinky Pete or Lotso are back for revenge or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, it's no logic because think of it, toys are mass produced. So
Yeah,
what are the odds of running into that same toy and even like just having the villains return, like their arc's finished, and
exactly.
especially
Yeah.
lots of showing up in this one, it just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think if they ever did bring back any of the villains, I think Stinky Pete would probably be the most interesting, but even then it's like what are the odds they find him?
Yeah,
I think he's a I could see him reforming or changing in some way more than Lotso, but at the end of the day it is very hard to believe they would ever like find him.
yeah, it just wouldn't connect right unless it was a flashback, of course.
Right. I think that is possible, but anything else I'm not so sure about. But on the subject of villains, since we are in agreement, the lily pad will wind up befriending them somehow by the end of the movie. I know people are speculating that maybe Smarty Pants or there was a character they described in the trailer description. I think it was Dr. Nutjob or something, and they said it was a tech-fearing toy. And
Whoa, I never heard that one.
yeah, I've not seen, as far as I know, I've not seen any actual video or picture of this Doctor Nut Job, I think the name is.
Oh,
But all they said is it's a tech-fearing toy. That's all I know.
yeah, because on the subject one now, because that scene in the thumbnail, they're obviously getting along with Lily, the lily pad. What
Hmm.
is happening in that scene? It looks like they're sailing. But what's with all the horses as well? If they're sailing, why it looks like there's like drawers and it just looks like they're moving.
I don't know. I'm not sure. That's a good point. There is some kind of bizarre movement to that frame. I don't know what it is, and I don't know what it is she's showing them. I guess she's probably showing them some kind of, oh, here's a solution for our problem or something to that effect. But it looks like they're in Blaze's house, but I don't know what exactly is happening there with the movement and the all the horses.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is Smarty Pants becoming a villain. Maybe he floods like the house or tries to flood the world.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that would make sense since he's a potty training toy. So
Trainer.
someone was talking about I saw someone post about I think it's like where he has like these like sharp edges along his somewhere along his design. I don't know if that's meant to be like to show that he's like not made properly or he's somehow dangerous or something.
I also heard maybe he's made by the same people who made Lilypad.
Oh right, yeah, I could see that too because they do have a sort of similar vibe about them, I guess, and they're both made to kind of gear towards younger kids in like this a sort of educational way.
Yeah. And we also see the Lilypad actually hacking in, like hacking into something.
Yeah, I still wonder what is she hacking into exactly. I do wonder about that.
Because maybe so Bonnie obviously goes to like to some camp sort of type thing.
Right, yeah.
She goes out of her way to actually book in the camp and put in her parents' details or something.
Oh, yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah, that would make sense. And I think the toy is like tackling her and trying to fight her. It would make sense they have a kind of urgency over that situation, seeing the lily pad can have that much control and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and by doing that, she's isolating Bonnie from the toys, and it's just the lily pad and Bonnie.
That does make sense. It's funny, I know people had the theory she was going to record them. It's funny now because at first people were like, oh, well, in the day of technology, the toys could be recorded. But now technology's like looped back around to it. It's like, well, yeah, they could be recorded, but you could say it's AI now.
Yeah. Oh, that is true. Yeah, that's good. Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, I do wonder how much of the movie will feel like commentary over over AI in general, because yeah, it's been in production for a while, but I do think there's been enough time where they can sort of subtly comment on these things in a way that's relatable to people.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the it's kind of like that second grab that hooks people into this movie.
Yeah, I think so too. It's interesting looking at the theories when the movie was announced and now because I think people were thinking, oh, maybe they'll use Andy to some degree. Now Andy's like clearly not a part of it at all, and now it's very focused on the technology. So it is interesting, and moving forward too, because Andrew Stanton had said that he doesn't really see Toy Story ending necessarily. So you can't help but wonder, okay, what's after this, and where's it gonna go from here?
Yeah, I think originally I thought they would have like made another Toy Story movie like straight after this one,
Hmm.
but now I feel like it's just gonna be if they have the right story and if they need the money.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I mean, we see the Potato Heads being recast, which I think the guy they got for Potato Head, he sounds like a good replace. He sounds more like Don Rickles than I expected, I think, from what we've heard. Um, but you do sort of wonder the inherent you know, mortality of the actors. I mean, they'll replace certain actors, but when it's Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, I don't think they're gonna want to do that.
Yeah, except with them two, it's going to be AI for them, unless they use Tom Hanks's brother.
Yeah, I because Woody's voice, it's not like a cartoony voice where you can like impersonate. It's Tom Hanks's voice. So
Yeah,
really, who else is gonna sound like Tom Hanks except someone who's related to him?
yeah. When it comes down to Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, if anything ever did happen, I think Disney would AI their voices, but not do with anybody else.
Yeah, because I think everybody else they see, okay, we can replace them, but because Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, like that is the selling point ultimately, and too many people are fixated and see that as Woody and Buzz to the point I don't think they could with like random spin-offs or shorts or something they can get away with it, but not a whole movie in the main series, I don't think.
I think with the new Mr. Potato Head voice, I don't think it's bad, but I definitely noticed it was a different voice from
Yeah.
first in the trailer. But I think what they're gonna do, I think it's just gonna be a sort of a different take on Mr. Potato, just slightly.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a voice where you can easily tell it's a different guy. But I guess it is. I almost pictured it being more different than it is. I almost wondered, are they even gonna like have the same accent and everything? So they have like the same cadence, but it's definitely it's very. It's not like Slinky, for example. Slinky has a very cartoony voice, and you can kind of more easily replicate that. But Potato Heads, it's basically just Don Rickles, his voice
Yeah,
harder to replicate. And also on the subject of these voices, at the end of the trailer, we hear Potato Head saying it's nice to see them fighting again about Woody and Buzz, and someone says it sure is. It seems like that was Slinky saying that, but it did not sound like him.
yeah, it was slinky, but it just sounded different.
I don't know if it's just the actor getting older and he can't do the voice as much. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, because I imagine the slinky voice is probably the hardest one to do out of all of them because it's kind of raspy. It's coming from a like a deep place.
Yeah, it didn't really sound like Slinky, but I guess they're like, well, he's still alive, so we're not going to replace him. But
Yeah,
yeah, and I think I know Mr. Pricklepants. They recasted him. I guess the actor people have said the actor seems to be kind of retired now.
oh, right, okay.
But otherwise, I don't think there's any other recast. I think I saw people speculate that Buttercup might have been recast because the actor had some kind of drama with Disney. But other than that, I think everyone's the same.
Yeah. Mrs. is recast, but we have not heard that yet. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I feel like they'll have the same cadence and the same accent, but the voices it'll be clear they're different people, which I guess it's just one of those things where you have to get used to. I think he'll be in it more than four, but probably not as present as like one to three because they still feel like, oh, it's not Don Rickles, so it's not the same.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too. I remember Tim Allen was talking about this movie, and he said at the start of it, everyone's kind of separated and they have to uh, realign, which made it sound like more of the toys had been like donated or something. But it seems like
Yeah.
they're all together and it's just Woody. I guess that's what he meant. He just kind of phrased it a different way.
Yeah. He's last few months he's been spoiling this movie. He's
I
he's
know.
been throwing out spoilers.
It's funny because he always like gives away so many like he gave away the bald thing and he gave away Jesse being the main character. And it's funny how because usually it seems like they're very like Disney's very like, oh don't say anything about this, but I guess they're just letting him riff.
Yeah, it's weird. It's only him saying that about the movie and no one else.
Yeah, I guess he's maybe done the most projects lately. I know Tom Hanks has done a few things, but I guess he hasn't talked about it or been asked about it as much.
Yeah, like I haven't seen any other actor talk about it. Except Annie Potts. She just said
Right.
she had a little role in it and that's it.
Yeah, I remember someone asked her, I think, if five would undo the ending of four, and they said that she said no, which makes I do of course I think by now people have accepted that by the end of the movie Woody will go back to Bo and it'll He's not gonna. I think there's still some people out there that are like, oh, he's gonna get his pull string back and he's gonna be part of the room again, which I don't think that'll. I definitely don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, people had that fear of him getting his pull string back, and it didn't help from that Super Bowl teaser thing actually
Yeah,
showing the pull string again.
yeah.
That didn't
People.
happen.
I saw people speculate, oh, does that mean he's gonna get it back? But I think it's more just, well, that's his iconic design, so they're gonna use that for the commercial.
Yeah, for marketing, they're going to use his iconic design, the pull string, and just and
Yeah.
the sheriff badge. You always see that in the promotional art as well.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I guess that's a good segue to talk about the merch. I know today, I think it was just today they put out these new figures and I don't they look very weird.
Womp womp womp.
I don't know. I think they might be the worst ones I've seen yet, actually.
Yeah, I think they're the worst toys I've probably seen. They're awful. It was the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is what they're giving us.
I know they had talked about, oh, we're gonna have these 16-inch figures. They also said, oh, we'll also make stuff for adult collectors. So I don't know if those will look any better, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up.
Yeah, the dolls they released today, they were awful. So it had just Woody with his pull string, his star badge,
Yeah.
um, just in their normal ways, but they just looked ugly and just awful.
Yeah, I guess the idea is they're supposed to be interactive, and I guess that's why their faces look off. But it's like surely you could have had them be interactive without making them look
Yeah,
like.
just awful.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. I think on that video where they have a lot, so there were different dolls that looked better than that. And I think Woody had his poncho, but it was just kind of a blurry video, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly.
Yeah, I've tried to zoom in that video. The Woody dolls, they're not that good. It's
Yeah, but they
I think the Buzzes were pretty much the Disney Store ones, but the Woodies were like kind of like a hodgepodge of dolls.
yeah, they look pretty much just the standard thing of just the open mouth smile, this the usual thing, except he maybe had his poncho. I couldn't really tell. That was about it.
Yeah, from what we've seen, so actually, we have seen some good stuff. So Snappy the camera and
Oh yeah.
Snats, they
Hmm.
look really good, and they function really good as well.
Yeah, it's funny that they're more accurate than Woody's ever been.
Yeah, exactly. A lot more accurate.
What those what they mentioned about, oh, we're gonna make dolls like for adult collectors. What do you imagine they'll end up looking like if that actually is true?
Um, just very basic, really. What I've seen today, I think they're not gonna. It's not gonna be really for collectors. It's just gonna be a more expensive doll that looks all right.
Yeah, I think they'll look better than what they put out today, but I don't think it's gonna be anything anything crazy. I think even if they did like a closed mouth smile, it wouldn't look like very accurate.
Yeah, it would be a closed mouth smile, but it wouldn't look like Woody.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely scenario. I feel anytime I'm in Walmart or anything, I still see I think it's called Roundup Fun Woody from Mattel. I always see that one. I feel like they
Yeah.
probably are gonna keep that like keep pushing that one too.
Yeah, they may just make a larger version of the Roundup Fun Woody.
Yeah, I think if they made it an adult collector version, at most it would maybe look like that one leak where, or not even a leak. You see on the packaging, he has the closed mouth smile, but it's still not entirely accurate. I think it would at most be kind of like that. I don't see them making things like the customs that you and other people make. I don't think it'll be like that at all.
Yeah, they're just gonna have Woody do like the weird smirk. He's gonna have his face is gonna be his mouth's gonna be here, and his eyebrows
Right.
are gonna be in odd places.
Yeah, like they'll give him a closed mouth smile, but they won't commit. They'll be like, well, it's more commercially viable if he like has a little bit of a like a slant in his smile, or like his eyebrows are arched or something. I guess they're afraid to like give him the actual look because I guess because in the actual movies he does look more the face he makes does look more like an actual 50s doll, and they don't want to do that. They want the marketable like modern look.
Yeah, just that open mouth, and he's just smiling with an open mouth.
Yeah, and the pull string's not going to be retractable. It'll just be the regular. It'll be too
Yeah,
big. They
it'll be
always,
voice in it.
yeah, they always do that too. Like they'll have like some element that's better or more accurate. Like with like Roundup Fun Woody, like his pull string, okay, it's smaller, but it's also like it doesn't like function. It's like you just like pull a few inches or something, and
Yeah,
that's all you get.
inches,
Yeah,
just there.
they always like okay, this part's better, but then they make this other part look worse.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. I'm wondering how they're going to do the high-tech Buzz Lightyears. Like, what toy company's going to make them?
Yeah, that is an interesting point because that has to be one of the elements that they see and are like, oh, we have to make something out of this. So I will be curious to see that because I haven't seen any leaks about how they might look. I know they said they're gonna not show certain things until the actual month of June, so I don't know how that'll play out, but if that's true, I guess we won't see certain things for a while.
Yeah, but the Disney stores, they've got sort of a good track record going. They did release the new Lenny, what was movie
Oh,
accurate,
yeah.
and the movie accurate Buzz box. So
Yeah.
that's decent.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I guess it's just Mattel and the Disney Store is pretty much all we're getting now, right?
Yeah, it's just those two companies.
Because I guess I know people speculated that Thinkway could come back for this one, but it seems like that's not the case.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're gone.
Yeah. I feel like at this rate, I feel the the signature collection and stuff like that, or like some of the stuff that they did for Toy Story 3, um, and I guess various other companies did for like that Toy Story 3 era will probably remain the most accurate for now.
Yeah, undefeated. The Toy Story 3 era of toys was undefeated.
Toys in general, I guess they do kind of look cheaper now in general, so
Yeah.
any hope, I guess, is kind of lost in that sense for the merch.
Like, when Mattel released like a Buzz Lightyear toy, they barely even paint it. It's missing so
Yeah. Yeah, like his hands and like just these like very random. It's like you would think they would at least bare minimum have give him a full paint job, but I guess not.
no, they just don't care. It's odd, very odd.
Yeah, I guess now maybe it's because kids play with toys less, but I mean, there's still obviously kids still do. Some kids still do. I guess maybe they're like, oh, well, they don't care. It's a toy, and they'll accept it either way, and they don't really care about the quality of it.
Yeah, maybe that's their thought process. Kids don't play with toys no more. It'll be disposable in about 2 years. Let's not bother to paint it all.
Yeah, they're like, we'll make it look enough like Buzz Lightyear. They'll want it, but not enough to actually give it all the detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thankfully the movie looks better than the merch thus far.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
One thing that I found interesting when the teaser came out, I really worried the animation would look off. But now that the trailer's out, it looks, as you would expect it to. So I do wonder why Woody and Buzz kind of looked off in the teaser.
Yeah, I think the teaser might have just been rushed because the
Yeah,
teaser, everything looks. When you see Slinky for the first time, I'm like, what is going on?
yeah. I remember when that teaser came out, I was really worried, oh, the movie's gonna look weird, but I was relieved when it pretty much just looks like how 4 looked in terms of
And
animation.
it pretty much looks like Toy Story 4.
It's like the least amount of change we've seen between Toy Story movies because I guess at that point there's not much you can do to make it look better.
Yeah. What I noticed about that little trailer with Jesse, Bullseye, and that big horse, the horse looks amazing. That
Oh
scene
yeah.
looks so good when she's
Yeah.
riding the masked horse.
Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see that in context with the movie of Jessie on the farm, like living her cowgirl life. Like it's sort of that Toy Story thing they do of like Woody at the museum or Lotso with the daycare, like the false solution that seems like heavenly at first, but then there's something going
Yeah.
that
This is
makes
this
it.
is Jesse's dream come true. That's her biggest dream. That's what it's gonna play as.
Yeah. I think even in the trailer they kind of gave away some of like how I think it'll play out when Jesse's like, "Oh, Bonnie still needs us," and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what will make her probably go back. What's gonna the thing that's gonna make her go back?
I think,
What will be her motivation to go back?
yeah, I think maybe it'll be a combination of things at Blaze's house not going as well, and slash, or maybe the lily pad shows her something. Maybe she shows that Bonnie's upset because Jesse's missing or something, and that gives lily pad a change of heart or something.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to see. Maybe Jesse would kind of see like, oh well, Woody went and did his own thing, so I can do it too. But then she realizes that it's different because Bonnie does still need her, unlike Woody.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be a good contrast.
Yeah, I think it would kind of highlight how um because people were like, oh well, why did Woody leave? He's supposed to be loyal to his kid, but I think it would show like there's different circumstances where the kids need them more than others.
Kind of crazy. Bonnie still doesn't know Woody's missing.
I was gonna I was gonna say that too. I wonder if she's gonna see Woody in her room, like they'll have to freeze and he won't have time. Is Bonnie gonna see Woody and like what will she say? Like will she even care? And maybe if she doesn't care, Woody will be like, "Yep, I made the right choice."
Yeah, maybe maybe all this time she still hasn't noticed Woody's missing by some chance. And when she sees him in the room, she just thinks it's normal.
Yeah, it's possible. Maybe she's like, "Oh, there's that toy I don't play with.
Yeah. Oh
Why
my
is he
God.
bald now?"
Yeah, why is he bald now?
That would be hilarious to see like Bonnie like discards him again and Woody's like, "I can't wait to go back to Bo."
Yeah, that's odd. So she hasn't noticed that. It's odd though because Jessie's a cowgirl. You got Bullseye is the horse. They're her like two favorites, but she doesn't realize the cowboy's missing. That goes with the set.
I guess maybe she sees it like at first she likes Woody, but then she gets the female version of it, and since she's a girl, it's like, oh well, I can relate to this more, so forget about Woody. That's the biggest rationale I can give it, I guess.
Yeah, but still, like it's part of a set. It's just you got just like endless stories, but it's just I don't know if they're. I don't think they're even gonna bother to explain that.
Yeah, I feel like most likely Woody will probably like hide or something, and Bonnie won't even see him, and they won't really address it.
Unless that would be like a little joke for the end or something.
Yeah, I
But
could see that
I
being
think
a
that maybe
character.
it's gonna end on like some kind of joke or just something. Maybe tease the next movie. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think this ending will have that vibe of the last two of like, oh, this might be the last one. I think they're gonna ditch that now because I think even before the trailer came out, the language behind this movie has been different. Andrew Stanton's been like, yeah, we're gonna. I don't see Toy Story as a series that really ends, and I feel like they don't necessarily maybe know if there's gonna be another one, but they're not gonna treat it like this is the last one at the same time.
Yeah, I think from like going on now, I think Toy Story's never gonna end. I think as the times change, if something happens in the world, like they're gonna release a movie if it's logical and has a good story.
I do wonder if Disney will ever be like, okay, you gotta do a live action remake now.
Yeah, even that's possible.
Because I know Pixar, like I think Pete Docter, CEO, said that they're not interested in doing that. But I will not be shocked if Disney's like, well, you gotta do it.
Yeah, Disney will make them do it, whether they like it or not.
I feel like once it's clear that they don't have any ideas or they can't do another one because Tom Hanks and Tim Allen can't do it, they'll be like, okay, remake.
Yeah, exactly that. And it won't be as good.
Yeah, it'll be the same story, but watered down and stuff added that no one cares about.
Yeah, very watered down.
I think that's part of why I'm excited about Woody and Buzz having a spat because I love Woody in all the movies, but I miss him in the first one being all petty.
Yeah, he's got like that edge to him.
Yeah, I miss the edge of the first movie. I think I don't want to say it got watered down, but it does feel a little bit more. Ever since then, it feels like a bit more like a normal Disney tone.
Yeah, he's very matured. He's very mature, especially when it comes to three and four. He's very matured.
Yeah, I think in two he had a little bit more of it than in three and four, which I mean I do it makes sense. It's good character development, but I do like being able to see it come out again.
Yeah, I want to see him crash out.
Yeah.
Someone.
I just I love how spastic he is in the first one. It's just I love even by the end of the movie he's still like being really like demanding to Buzz like when they're on RC.
Yeah,
I just I like the idea we're gonna see a little bit more of that with him and Buzz fighting. I wonder how bad it's gonna get to like how bad their fighting's gonna get.
yeah. I think that's going to tie in with the Buzz plot. I think either they're going to both be held hostage, or one of them is.
Yeah, maybe Woody would be held hostage so Buzz can be like, oh, I can prove I'm a leader now. I'll save Woody. Yeah, because we haven't really seen Buzz do a lot since the second movie, so it would be perfect in that sense.
Yeah, he's. Yeah, I think so. I think they finally like found something for him to do this time around.
Yeah, I think so. I think they probably have heard the criticism regarding four and want to course correct, at least in that sense. I don't think they're gonna course correct in every way that some people want, but as far as Buzz goes, like that is the one problem I think is the most universal that people have is Buzz. So I think
Yeah.
they'll course correct in that way.
Yeah, when I see people's reaction to this trailer and when they mention Toy Story 4, they always mention how dumb Buzz was. Everyone points it out.
Yeah, yeah, I think this will be his best movie at least since two, because even in three, he's he's like got amnesia for some of it, then he's Spanish.
Yeah, he's Spanish, he's brainwashed.
So it'll be interesting to see him like be his normal self for the whole movie again.
Yeah.
We'll need it to after Lightyear, which I still haven't watched.
Yeah, no point. No point. Do not there's no reason to ever watch it. One of the worst movies I've ever watched.
Yeah, I'll keep it that way actually. Yeah. I have no qualms with keeping it that way.
Yeah, there are two movies that I really don't like. Spider-Man Far From Home and yeah, worst movie ever.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah, that's another movie I guess where a character is not acting like how people want them to act, like how you would think they would act. Another
Yeah,
similarity with me there.
everything about that movie. Every
Oh, that is funny. Disney has a bad track record there.
Yeah. But I think overall with this movie, I think I'm excited for it. And I really do think they're gonna nail it.
Yeah, I've been excited but also cautious about the movie. There's been a sense of trepidation. But by now, seeing the trailer, I think that's enough for me to be okay, I'm on board. It looks good and I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I think that's been everyone's reaction because when the teaser came out, there was so much hate, but all those people now, they are loving this.
Yeah, I think even people who don't like four and have like kind of hated on four, I think not all of them, but a lot of them even have been like, okay, this looks good. I think it'll be more if that stays, I think it'll be more liked than four, and it's nice to see that to see people universally like in the fandom be more united in the general public, be more united in that sense on liking the movie.
Yeah, this is the first time I've really seen like a trailer win a whole load of people over.
Yeah, it completely did its job because a lot of trailers, it's like people will maintain their opinion no matter what. But this one really did its job, I think. I think they showed the right stuff to get people excited. I think every character got enough screen time to make you feel they're gonna have a sense of justice done to their character in the movie. I really don't think they could have done the trailer better, actually. Even the way they ended it with Woody and Buzz, and but they still showed off Jesse so that you know what it's about. I think it was very well done in that sense.
Yeah, they showed off the key elements, and they made it look like everyone is scattered, but there's still the mystery there. They just nailed it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think because I've been worried. I'm like, oh, I love all four movies. I hope this isn't the one to mess it up. But it looks like it's staying intact. I don't know where I'll end up ranking it, but I think bottom line, I'll enjoy the movie.
Yeah, I think my first reaction when I first saw it, I think it it possibly has potential to possibly be probably the at the time when I first saw it, I thought it could possibly be one of like probably the best movie, or it could be better than three.
I think it could be. I love all the movies, but I do think three. I think it's at its best when it has like the highlight moments, like the ending and the them in the incinerator. I still enjoy the stuff at Sunnyside, but I think that movie is at its best when it's having those highlight moments, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think five having this action-packed sort of feel the whole time could lend it to be one of the more entertaining entries of the series.
See, my theory is I think this, in my opinion, from just seeing the trailer, I thought I would have to change my rankings from one, two, five, three, four. But I possibly people may do what like two, one, or three, two, one, four, no, five, four. So I think everyone's gonna like number five better than four.
Yeah, I do think most Toy Story fans, at least on social media, judging on how they react to things, I think they'll like five, probably more than four. I really don't see it topping one or two. Um, three and four, three and four, it's a toss up for me on whether or not they could top it, but it's possible. And I think the fact it's possible at all, that's impressive enough in its own right. Because it's funny too, because I feel like this will be like one to four is like almost telling a complete story, and this one's almost we're going on to Jesse now, so it's like a different thing, but it still feels relevant and important in its own way.
Yeah, and I think if they did manage to top three, well done to them. They they proved that like they should have continued after three.
Yeah, I
If they
think.
did, then they proved everyone wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that would be the greatest like poetic justice of like, oh okay, you say we shouldn't have made four, and then you got even more mad when we said we're gonna make a five, but then we make a five, and it's so good you change your mind about us continuing.
Yeah.
I do think the technology plot was the best possible plot to make people think, oh, okay, this is needed because I've seen so many people say, oh, I'm against milking franchises, but this plot is needed or it's important. So I think they did the right thing in choosing that in that sense.
Yeah, they did the two hooks. They've got well technically they got three hooks. They've got Woody being bold,
Yeah.
the technology plot, and then that tease of Jesse's past.
Yeah, those are the three things that are gonna reel people in. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it seems like they've done it again. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the next trailer and then the movie coming out. But as of now, I'm happy with what we've seen.
Yeah. Do you think there's do you think there's something in the movie that could go wrong, that could ruin the movie?
I definitely worry about that. I think I was maybe more worried about it at first. I think as t like the weeks gone on, I've thought about it more, and I'm like, okay, I feel like this makes sense and that makes sense. I did worry that when people were posting about Woody's belt being gone, I was like, oh no, they can't. That's too much. You're taking too much off of Woody.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you can't take so much away from a character.
yeah, but I feel like they probably. I think it's either an animation error or he puts it back on. I don't know. It's kind of silly to imagine his belt would be removable. Kind of like, but at the same time, I don't think I ever considered that his badge would be removable until it happened.
Actually, his badge has always been removable.
Has it?
So,
Okay.
back in 1996, they used to do a little. They used to do something called Toy Story Treats.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay. I forgot about that. Yeah.
One of those shorts, the alien actually steals Woody's hat and his badge.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I remember that, but I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but I think the the his holster and his belt and holster, I think that is a bit too much. But I can't really find a reason for him to even take that off.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, why would he take it off and why would anyone want it off of him? So I kind of feel like it isn't an animation error, but I guess we'll find out.
Unless
Hmm.
unless the Buzz Lightyears um they put they aim their laser at him and they tell him to take it off because he may have a weapon.
Oh, that
He has to
probably
control himself, he has to take off the belt to, be
yeah. Yeah, I bet if that is intentional, I bet that is why he takes it off. Yeah, that would make sense.
and then possibly they throw him into the that pig pen or whatever it was.
That makes so much. Yeah, that makes so much sense. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, they probably would do that.
Yeah, he's probably under arrest and he's probably like a traitor or something.
R-
Maybe the Bonnie's Buzz puts him in that situation just to teach him a lesson.
That would be funny. I wonder if like Buzz will be the reason they reform and he like leads them and he convinces them to
Yeah,
be on their side.
100%. That is definitely how Buzz's arc uh continues in that.
Yeah, I have worried that it'll be like, okay, we're doing the diluted Buzz plot again, but I can't deny like a bunch of Buzz Lightyears being diluted is a funny idea.
Yeah, I think it's good. It is cool. It's very visual like the visuals of so many Buzz Lightyears being together is cool.
Oh yeah, like that concept art of them on the beach, and even like in the trailer, like that shot of them with their helmets and they're rising up from the water. That looks great.
That is so cool. Oh, it's all just shining and they come out the
Yeah.
water.
There's a lot of great, uh, just a lot of great composition, like a lot of great shots in the trailer. All right, so what are our final thoughts on the trailer?
Um, it was a good trailer. It hit every beat it needed to. Um, the trailer it really changed everyone's mind on this movie.
Yeah.
It did what a trailer's supposed to do, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it put me in a good mood in general about the movie because seeing everyone say they're excited about it and sharing the jokes about it, talking about Woody being bald and just
Yeah,
everything. It's really nice to see people united because it seems like this movie coming out when four had been out for a while, and then when five was announced, and leading up to everything, there was so much negativity, I think, in between there. People did not want this movie to happen. It was almost unanimous of like, oh, I don't want a Toy Story 5 and blah blah blah. And it's nice to see the complete 180, basically.
complete opposite has happened. Everyone wants this movie now, and they want to see this movie.
Yeah, I actually I think this one might end up making the most money out of all of them, especially at taking inflation into account.
Yeah, I think so too. I 100% agree with that.
Because before I had wondered if it would because uh four had the advantage of everyone liking three so much, but five had the disadvantage of four being a divisive movie. But now that we've had the trailer and it's got the technology beats and everyone is optimistic about it, I think it actually has a good chance of being the highest grossing one. And I think it'll probably have the same general like Rotten Tomatoes score being high, and I think it'll pretty much be what we're accustomed to and what you're looking for in like a Toy Story movie's reception, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think this is like the best Toy Story trailer? Like
I
out of
was
all the trailers they've done, do you think this is the best Toy Story trailer?
I was thinking about that because I was thinking about the other trailers. I remember the trailer for the first Toy Story is going back. It's a dated trailer, but it's got the that song, "The Boys Are Back in Town." And
Yeah.
I like the vibe of that one, but I guess it does. It's very of that time. The trailer for two is kind of underwhelming. Doesn't really. It's kind of short. The trailers for three, those were good. Um, the first trailer for four I liked a lot because I remember I was really hesitant about it, and I really loved the first trailer with the Beach Boys song and everything. Although the second trailer for four I thought was like very underwhelming. But overall, I think this probably is the best trailer for a Toy Story movie because I think the what they showed, how they showed it, the inclusion of "You've Got a Friend in Me," uh,
Yeah.
I think. I think it's honestly the most excited I've ever felt watching any trailer. So I think I would say it is the best trailer of the movies and that it did its job the most. What do you think?
I would definitely rank this number two
Hmm.
out of all the trailers. I would have to go number three, Toy Story 3 trailer as the number one spot. Just because it caught me by surprise. I didn't even know they were making a third
Right.
one when I saw that trailer.
Yeah, I think,
Um,
yeah, I get that.
and then I'd have to do Toy Story 2 next, just because of nostalgia.
Yeah, I
Toy,
do.
that
Yeah,
was everywhere, that Toy Story 2 trailer. So it's just nostalgia for that.
absolutely. Yeah, I do think all the movies have had at least one good trailer, but I
Yeah.
do think this one is definitely one of the better ones because I think it's done more for this movie than any trailer has done for any of the other Toy Story movies in terms of people wanting to watch it.
Yeah, and it's how 4 left off. It just left off in a way like what comes next if they are making another movie. So
Yeah,
there's just that mystery.
exactly. I honestly think I was thinking about this too. If they do make Toy Story 6 or whatever, I think there's not going to be as much backlash. I think people have kind of accepted it at this point, and people have seen they can come up with more stuff. So I don't think if they do announce at some point Toy Story 6, it's not going to have the same amount of backlash.
Do you think they would tease a do you think to tease a Toy Story 6 after this movie?
I don't know. I was thinking about that because I do think they're kind of dropping the whole like the ending that feels final. I think they're dropping that at this point. I don't I was thinking about things like post-credit scenes and stuff like that. I don't think they'll do something like that, but I could maybe see them doing something that's like vaguely alluding to a different one. I don't think it'll be like a straight up tease or like a straight up like plot thread dangling, but I think there might be something there where it's like, okay, I could see that being expanded upon.
Yeah, I agree. I think they might just put something. I have theories about it, but I definitely think they may just do a little tease.
What would those theories be?
It would have it's something to do. It's either something to do with Woody,
Hmm.
and then him going on some kind of another journey,
Yeah.
or they tease Andy. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, I could see maybe like Woody goes off and like he hears about something and it's like, oh, that sounds like it could be a big deal or something. Or maybe like there is some kind of like illusion or something that foreshadows or hints at Andy in some way. Because that is, I think, after the technology, if they made a new one, that's one of the things that would pull people like, oh, it's Andy. That would be something people think is a big deal to want to go watch it after this one.
Yeah, I kind of think Andy's tied in with the 50 Buzz Lightyears. Something may just maybe.
I could see that. I could see that because I don't know what it would be exactly, but I could see something involving that because Andy is creative and he does still have those emotional ties to his toys. So maybe somehow he's involved some way with that.
Yeah, because I remember they said they were commemorative Buzz Lightyears, but this was before even the teaser trailer, so I don't know if that's changed. Are they still commemorative?
Yeah, I do wonder that too if that ties into it because that sort of implies like some sort of anniversary or something like that. So
Yeah.
I do wonder. I feel like we could see some kind of vague teases like that, where it's like it's not like explicitly a cliffhanger, but it's like, oh, this could be in the next one. Because I feel like if they did make another one, maybe they would. That would be the time they bring in Andy to have a full circle thing. Like, oh, the first trilogy ended with him growing up and leaving, and the second trilogy ends with him coming back in some way.
Oh yeah, that's something.
Yeah, I will be very curious to see if we get anything like that. No matter what, though, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So that's the main takeaway, I think, from the trailer.
Yeah, it's got everybody on board, and we're excited for the movie.
Absolutely. So with that said, do you have any other thoughts on the movie?
Um, so everything really is just. I'm glad there's still stuff that's a mystery. I'm glad it's not a clear direction we can see the movie going in. Like we still have all these questions and theories, so it's
Yeah.
still unpredictable. They did show a lot in the trailer, but it's still unpredictable.
Yeah, I think Toy Story 4, the first trailer, was like, oh, okay, I know exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It wasn't even subtle. It's funny because a lot of people who weren't Toy Story fans thought it was like a rehash of Toy Story 2 or something. But I think a lot of like the fans were like, oh, Woody's gonna leave at the end of the movie, and that was exactly what happened.
yeah,
So yeah, I do like that there's more ambiguity there because 4 it was like, yep, I see where this is going. But then you had like Tim Allen and Tom Hanks talking like so dramatically, like you would have thought like Woody and Buzz died at the end of the movie.
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking someone's gonna die in this. Just how they were speaking about it.
That was the one thing that gave me doubt when that movie was coming out because for the trailer, it's like, okay, I see where this is going. But the way they were talking, I'm like, is there something I'm missing here? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I was going to see the movie. And it was also weird because in the interviews leading up, Tom Hanks kept jumping back and forth. He kept saying it was his last time playing
Yeah.
Woody, but then he kept saying, "Oh, if they make a Toy Story 5."
Yeah, I noticed that too. It was kind of strange that he was like going around saying that like as if he like had confirmation, but it doesn't seem like anyone told him that. It seems like he just assumed that because of how it ended.
Yeah, he even said to his brother like, "This is the last one. If they do anything else, it's gonna be his brother's voice." He actually said that to his brother.
Yeah, it seemed like he really thought that was it, and like anything with Woody going forward would just be like spin-off stuff and like the
Yeah,
expanded material. I don't know. I guess it was just what he assumed because of how it ended. Because I remember he told that story about when he finished it and how he was like, oh, there was like no rap party or anything celebrating the ending. So it kind of just seems like he just assumed that was it.
yeah,
But then he also kind of knew that there might be another one. So I don't know why he was like talking to his brother, like, hey. This is the last one. That's funny.
yeah. But also, I'm excited to see what toys and the merchandise that come out of this.
Oh yeah, like aside from the movie itself, that is always one of the coolest things to me. It's like, oh, what's the merch gonna be like? What's the what are all the interviews gonna be like, and so on and so forth. I think that's part of the excitement too.
Yeah, so far we've technically the good stuff we've seen is the Snappy the camera and the Smarty Pants toy, and that's pretty much it.
Do you think we'll get anyway like anything at least decent from Woody and Buzz?
I don't know. I really at this point I don't think we will. I really don't think we're gonna get anything decent.
Those new ones are really they're rough.
Yeah, horrid.
They look like horror movie characters.
I don't know how they missed the ball so hard on that.
It almost reminds me of like the Sonic the Hedgehog, like Ugly Sonic or something.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't see kids wanting that. I feel like they're gonna have to end up recalling it because no one wants it, and they'll just use the.
yeah. I think they're gonna have to try and like sell that as cheap as possible.
Yeah, but I think if that's all they're gonna come up with, I think they should just stick with like the Roundup Fun Woody and call it a day.
Yeah, just stick with that. Make it larger, and then people can do whatever they want with it. Make it more movie accurate.
Yeah, I noticed he is a bit smaller. I've seen people debate like, oh well, Woody. he changes sizes in the movie, and I've seen people debate the size. I don't even really know like what would technically be considered the accurate size.
So Woody should actually be about the size of this right here. So
Okay.
this is about 15,
Yeah.
16 inches.
Right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
the round up fun is a lot smaller, but I get what people are saying about Woody's size changing. It's usually mostly because in Toy Story 2, um, there's a scene where he's running past and he's running past a chess set, but it's a jumbo chess set.
Okay. You're right.
And then when Owl's holding him, Owl has large hands, so Woody looks smaller.
Uh,
So that's usually where that comes from.
yeah. I guess it comes from people missing the proportions of Al, and maybe that one scene. I because they did have like the really rushed having to rush the finish line for that movie. So maybe the size discrepancy comes from that.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Yeah, I'd always wondered that. I was like, how tall is he supposed to be officially? So that makes sense though, like that comparison. Because they
yeah.
said,
Even in Toy Story 1, they did have to change his size as well because there's a scene where he's talking to Buzz. So
hmm
what they do, they bring his body into the ground so they're at the same level when they're
uh,
talking.
okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Has his body has it like in 3 and 4, are there moments where it changes like that, or is it more consistent, do you think?
Three and four, it's more consistent there. It's just in 1 and 2. It's how they have to like move him and angle the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense because I think it was the CEO of Mattel or something said they were gonna make 16-inch figures. So I guess yeah, that's the right. I don't know if those new ones, those horrid looking ones are if that's 16 inches or what, but
I have no like with those like everything's wrong. Everything's wrong with those, so you can't
oh
really.
yeah. Yeah, irrespective of like the size, they're gonna look off anyway. So it's like whatever, it doesn't matter.
Like, I don't think there's anything redeeming about those toys. There's nothing redeeming about them.
Yeah, like it's the eyes almost look like those paintings where the eyes follow you.
Yeah, it's like that. Oh man, their eyes are gonna move. The mouth is gonna move. Oh, it's horrid.
20 years from now, I bet you there's gonna be like memes about, oh, did you guys have that really creepy Woody doll when you were a kid?
Yeah. Oh, it's like, what was that movie? I haven't seen it, but people kept commenting it's Friday Night Freddy's or something like that.
Oh yeah, like Five Nights at Freddy's with
That's it.
like the animatronics. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
like that.
people saying that they were based off that.
Like yeah, it looks like the Chuck E. Cheese kind of thing going on or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
It's
guess
funny because I remember I think it was our second podcast we did.
yeah.
I remember we were ranting on the Disney store
Yeah.
toys. And actually after that, like 3 or 2 months later, they actually ended up updating those. Some of them have new head sculpts, some of them have like bendy wires in them, new phrases.
It does seem like they've gotten better.
Yeah, they are slowly, very, very slowly getting better.
I still wonder. I know Today I Grew Up has mentioned this, that he thinks that they intentionally don't make them fully accurate because they want people to buy all these different versions. And so like it is more money in their pockets. So it makes sense they would like not want to
True.
give the fully accurate one.
They made one accurate version, then who's gonna buy all the rest?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of that and they think the open mouth smile is more marketable, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, at least we've got you and all these people who make these like the actual accurate versions.
Yeah.
You have to leave it to the fans to
Unfortunately.
make the real one.
It's just odd though, like come on, just they need to throw us a bone or something. Give us just something. Like, even if they want to do the open mouth smile on a Woody, at least make the body accurate.
Yeah, because then it's like, I mean, there's no real reason to not make that. I get maybe the face looks more marketable if he's smiling like that, but the body you would think would be fine. Even the pull, like I get the pull string, they think it's like a choking hazard or something.
Yeah.
Like stuff like his hands or like stuff like that, you would think they could get more accurate.
Yeah, and it's weird they do it to so it's more marketable. but these new ones are horrifying. So
They're the
what's up with that?
they're the worst by like I know we ranted about the Disney store, but like that is nothing compared to what these new ones are like. These are like putrid.
These are the worst. Like I've never like really ranted on a Toy Story toy being this bad before.
Yeah, I know. I was shocked actually when I saw it. It looks like a like I think I at first thought it was like some kind of fan made thing or like some kind of edit. But I was like, oh, that's real.
Man, it just hopefully they give us something, but my hopes, um, I just don't think they're gonna give us anything for this.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I never really had much faith they would like make an accurate one, but after this, I'm like, oh, I don't think they'll. I don't know if they can even make a decent one for this movie.
Yeah, I think the only thing we're left with is if Disney Store eventually update theirs, and they do have I think it's a Japanese country, Japan do Takaratomi,
hmm
where they're pretty much just um Thinkway toys reprinted but cheaper.
Oh yeah, I've seen people. I think they've called them like a knockoff versions, stuff like that.
Yeah, they're like a cheap version of Thinkway toys.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, well, maybe one day there will be some scenario where they find it marketable to make a movie accurate one, but as of now, I guess we're stuck with the Five Nights at Freddy's Woody.
Yep, Five Nights at Freddy's Woody.
Uh, they almost look like characters like you would see in a Toy Story movie where they like make a joke about like a creepy version of them, but
Yeah,
or
I
something
just
like
don't know
that.
how did that even get past. Like, come on, people designed this and they thought this would be a good idea.
Yeah, like the other like the inaccurate ones, like okay. I do always wonder why can't it be more accurate? But I do get like I get why it gets passed. Like it looks acceptable enough. I get it. But this I do not get.
Yeah, man, and out of all companies, Mattel,
Yeah, like
they're they're the masters of toys.
aren't they supposed to be like the number one toy company?
Yeah, the number one toy company produced the worst Toy Story toys. How is that possible?
Yeah, like Thinkway did better, Hasbro did better. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, I'm puzzled.
Well, oh well. I wonder if they'll do Jessie having a creepy look for her too.
Oh yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be
I'm wondering how they're gonna do the other characters.
they gotta complete the set now. I guess it's too late to cancel them though, because I guess it's already too far in production, I assume.
I know with other characters like Slinky and like Mr. Potato Head, they're just gonna re-release what they've been selling for the past 30 years.
Yeah, I guess like the side characters, if they're not putting in thought to like Buzz's paint or what he's bolstering, they'll like I bet some of them were like, oh toy oh they got rid of his badge for his bolstering. It's less work for us, thank God.
Yeah, what is weird that they haven't put any effort in to the Toy Story toys, but if you look at Mattel at their other brands, they have put a lot of effort in. That's what I've noticed actually.
That is I wonder why that like why is Toy Story the exception? I that is odd. I
Like it
wonder.
makes 1 billion at the box office, but you're not gonna put the effort in to make the toys.
I've read that I think it was like 2009, so this was even before 3 came out, that Toy Story had made $10 billion in the merch alone. So you would think they'd treat it like the lucrative property that it is.
Yeah, but they've just got these awful toys that look like bootlegs on official shelves.
Yeah, I will I'll get a kick out of seeing that in public and making jokes about it at least. So there's that.
Yeah.
People can save their money at least.
Yeah, well, they're
That's
going to be in my city next month.
oh great. They'll be like those Lightyear toys that like just stay on the shelf
I
forever.
might, I might just buy them for fun.
Yeah. I can imagine people will like buy them and like torture them like Sid on purpose.
Yeah, be like a meme. Maybe that's what they were going for it to be
Maybe
so bad it goes viral.
it could be. I think that would make because they did have that one Woody figure that had like the creepy face that had that became a meme. I do wonder sometimes if companies do that, like, oh, let's make it bad on purpose so it goes viral and we get more attention on it.
Yeah, I think a lot of companies do that now. They do it so bad, so it's called it's so bad it's good.
Yeah, it's like the Tommy was so of Woody doll. Uh,
Um,
but yeah, do you have any other closing remarks on Toy Story 5 or the creepy Woody dolls?
um, I think that's about it. Just excited for the movie.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And creepy Woody dolls aside, I'm very hyped. So yeah, I guess for now that will end our current discussion. And I guess we'll do the next one when there's another trailer or maybe when the movie because I don't know how much the new trailer will reveal. So I'm sure there'll be another one. But I
Yeah,
guess
hopefully it's not too much. It's just probably a rehash of this trailer, but from different angles.
probably it'll probably be that, and then we'll have the podcast discussion when it comes out. Finally, the culmination of it all, and then I'm sure
That's exciting.
there will be like seven different more Toy Story movies. So we'll have more.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. But yeah, I guess for now that wraps up our discussion.